we're back with another Pokédex retyping, and this time it's one of my personal favourites, Charmeleon. Just like Charmander, he's inheriting the rock type. I started with my Charmander sculpt, stretching out the forms to evolve him from that cute obsidian Charmander into a Birdman that reminded me of Falco Lombardi. From there, I began redistributing all the obsidian from Charmander, shaping it to fit the more elongated Charmeleon. I gave him an obsidian rock on his horn, some chunky obsidian boxing gloves, and I also played around with the idea of some obsidian shoes. I also experimented with smaller details like little obsidian rocks along the back of his feet, some shoulder spikes, and even some shoulder pads, but in the end I decided to keep it cleaner and not overcomplicate his design. Once I was happy with the overall look, it was time to refine everything. I shaped the obsidian into more defined, slightly concave forms along the belly, undertail, and arms. And rework the tail from a heavy club into more of a spearhead. Then it was time for posing, where I spent a lot of time just spinning him around and trying to figure out how I actually wanted to pose him. And with that, the sculpt is all done. This Charmeleon uses obsidian spear-like tail to strike with swift, piercing precision. The hardened obsidian along its arms act as a natural armour, increasing its defensive strength in battle. For the abilities, we dropped solid rock and gained rocky payload to reflect the more offensive nature of our edgy teen Charmeleon. I'm pretty happy with Charmeleon's design, and I can't wait to evolve him into Charizard, who also gets a spin on the wheel for another type. Now on to Tash for the 3D printing and painting.
First up, I gave Charmeleon a quick sand, then moved into priming and laying down a base coat, making sure his colours were a bit more saturated than Charmander's. After that, I added some subtle shading, then started speckling his rocky skin to build up that texture. Next, it was time for the obsidian. I used a blend of that same purple mix from Charmander, but this time I went in with a dry brush to add some softer, more subtle highlights. Then I gave him some slightly more aggressive, edgy eyes to match the evolution. To finish it all off, I coated the obsidian and eyes with a few layers of UV resin to give it that glossy, crystal-like shine. And into the microwave he goes. Once the resin had fully hardened, it was time for his glamour shots. Thanks for watching. If you're enjoying our series so far, consider helping us grow by subscribing and liking our videos. Rivet would appreciate it. Stay tuned for our next video, which is Charmeleon's final form, Charizard.